Hi, and welcome to the next installment of my series on big data. Today we will discuss a case study titled Kyruus, Big Data's Search for the Killer App. The authors of this article are Higgins, O'Donnell, and Bott. Founded in 2010 by Graham Gardner and Julie Yu, Kyruus provides data and analytic tools to the healthcare industry. Initially, they worked with different types of organizations within the healthcare ecosystem, supporting hospitals and life science companies by providing a variety of solutions using a transformational data platform. In 2012, Gardner was faced with an important decision of how to strategically build out the platform. While seeing some success, Gardner and his team knew they needed to create a focused killer app to take the company to the next level. Pursuing multiple verticals and applications was becoming unsustainable and could result in the company under-delivering in the future. Using the base that had been established during the first 2 years of business, 3 logical options surfaced. The first option, build upon the existing base. To do this, they would concentrate on sales and development of an existing product to assist hospital administrators and doctors with regulatory compliance. The second choice was to develop new tools to analyze physician networks and patient referral operations to solve an existing problem affecting hospital profits. Finally, they could focus sales and development to cater to the life science industry. In 2010, when the Affordable Care Act was passed, new provisions and healthcare reform laws were established, one of which was the Physician Payment Sunshine Act, PPSA. This required physicians and hospitals to report payments over $10 from pharmaceutical, medical device, or medical supply companies to the government. The thought process behind this law was that if financial interactions were happening, what type of conflict does that create in the clinical setting? Because this was a common industry practice, this was a real problem that needed to be solved. By breaking this law, a fine of up to $1 million could be incurred, as well a potential loss in NIH government funding. For larger hospitals, this funding was crucial. In 2011, Mass General received $324 million in funding from NIH. As the company began to take off, this was a successful application they built out. They had secured highly regarded teaching hospitals as their client, and even a recommendation from the American Hospital Association. This seems like a great choice. However, the compliance sector was small potatoes compared to other areas of the hospital. The amount they could charge for these data tools was significantly less. Also, would they be able to segue sales to other areas of the hospital based off their relationship with the compliance department? And the answer was unclear at best. This was not your top administrators within the organization. Also, the number of clients was limited. Primarily, larger teaching hospitals would be candidates to pay for this type of software, and there were about 400 of those. Only 1,100 teaching hospitals exist throughout the United States, which is a limited client base. The next option is to take advantage of a great opportunity presented. Hospitals operate on a thin profit margin between -2% and +5%. One way to combat this is to have people use the hospital and its network. A problem is known as leakage. This is the loss of patients or procedures to other hospital networks. This could become very lucrative for hospitals if Kyruus was able to create a tool where network doctors would be able to suggest physicians within its network when it came time to give a patient a recommendation. Historically, doctors generally used word of mouth or people they knew to provide recommendations. If this software provided the anticipated results, The pricing model could be extremely profitable. The article uses the example, $1,000 for a licensed subscription for one doctor. A large hospital might have 1,000 doctors. That would be one client paying $1 million. As well, there are some drawbacks to this option. The technology is not currently developed because they decided to develop the compliance side of the business. There would also be a learning curve to creating this application. Forbes.com noted that in 2016, the most profitable industry was the pharmaceutical industry. When this article refers to life sciences, they're talking about a wider range, which is pharma, medical devices, and diagnostics. This was an established customer base that Kyruus was already working with. The sales cycles could be short or long, which they were unsure as to whether that would be a positive or negative to pursue this option. There would be a necessity to develop new functionality within the product to tailor itself more to the pharmaceutical industry. As well, ethical questions do come up when you collaborate with pharma. Gardner's original goal was to help physicians deliver a high quality of care, not necessarily helping a huge pharmaceutical company figure out who can check boxes associated with doing everything necessary to conduct a clinical trial. So it's decision time. My decision would be to take option number 2, develop new tools to analyze physician networks and patient referral operations to solve an existing problem facing hospitals. While there are risks associated with developing a new application and moving away from the initial compliance aspect of the software, I think the profits will help with the longevity and the overall health of the company. From looking at Kyruus's website today, their mission seems to coincide with the development of a tool which helps physician networks. The mission statement from the website. At Kyruus, our mission is to put patients in the hands of the providers uniquely suited to care for them, matching patients and providers, like a right and left hand coming together. Because the relationship between patient and provider can extend over a lifetime, we added 2-letter U's to represent the continuum of healthcare delivery. Our solutions embody these commitments, helping to match patients to the right provider and enabling healthcare systems to coordinate care delivery across their provider networks. So I think this is the decision I would make, as well as the decision Kyruus took. And that's it. Thank you very much.